Derek Jeter was one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game. But there's a lot that you and that I can learn from him. Let's talk about what you can learn from Derek Jeter about lifting up your teammates. I'm Dr. David Geyer, orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist. I share messages and stories from the world's greatest athletes, coaches, and trainers to help you become a champion in sports, business, and life. Derek Jeter was one of the all-time great New York Yankees, retiring a few years ago, leading the team in hits over his career, in games played, doubles, stolen bases, at-bats, all kinds of things. He was the first, I think he's still the only Yankees player to ever reach 3,000 hits. He ended up with like 3,400, something like that, a huge number. Sixth all-time in the major leagues in terms of career hits. Won 5 World Series titles. So a tremendous, tremendous athlete, tremendous baseball player. But you might not know he was an even better leader than he was as a baseball player, as a physical talent. And this really predates even his time as captain of the New York Yankees. When he was at their minor league team, shortly after being drafted, he was in Greensboro, North Carolina. He was there with Mariano, Rivera, who was a starting pitcher at the time, and Andy Pettitte and a number of other future great Yankee players. One of the things that he did, he cared so much about winning and he cared so much about his teammates that he would keep an eye out for them. Rivera was a starter at the time before he became a legendary closer for the Yankees, and he was coming off of elbow surgery, and Jeter basically would monitor the number of pitches that Rivera threw and told him to remember, we got to preserve your elbow. You have a long career ahead, and so would keep an eye out for his teammate. Another example, early in the minors, Derek Jeter had a problem with his fielding. He just wasn't a good fielder. One season in Greensboro, I think he had over 50 errors. Well, a number of those errors were caused by a guy named Nick Delvecchio, who was the first baseman. And the lighting at that stadium, I think it was War Memorial Stadium in Greensboro, was horrendous. So Delvecchio a lot of times would lose Jeter's throw from shortstop to first, would lose it in the lights. And people think that probably accounted for about 12 of all those Jeter errors. Now, Jeter never complained to Delvecchio about it. If anything, he would walk over and say, hey, don't worry about it. We'll come and get him next time. He would encourage his player. Delvecchio said he was a terrific player to play with. Everybody wanted to play with Derek Jeter because he lifted up everybody on his team. And that's why I think he became captain when he got to the New York Yankees. A few years there, he was still doing the same thing. Ultimately, the team made him captain. How can we lift up everybody on our team? We may not be a professional baseball player. We may not even play sports, but we can lift up our classmates in school. If somebody's struggling with a subject matter in English or math or something, maybe you offer to help, share notes, study together. Maybe you offer to tutor him or her or something like that, but help raise up. It may not even be teaching. It may just be, hey, you can do this. Just keep trying. You'll eventually get this. It may be a coworker in your office. You go get something out of the vending machine. When you go to get food, you get something for one of your coworkers. Just a nice thing to do. Maybe it's, to help with a project that they're struggling with. And if you are the boss, if you're the leader, how can you raise up the performance of everybody? We talk about top-down management and basically setting the tone for the organization, but sometimes you have to get out there with your employees and give them positive feedback. Help them see what they could do better, but do it in a positive way that builds them up. And if you can do that, like Derek Jeter, you can be a champion in your sport, in what you do in business and work, and in your life.